What's up, guys, and welcome back to another ladder story featuring Artosis. And today's game is a Terran versus Protoss on Attitude. It's actually the first time I have cast a game on this map, so I'm quite looking forward to it. And it is a game between RayReign, who is the Protoss here in the bottom left, spawning in purple, and Arty. And there's a little bit of a story here. RayReign is a Starcraft 2 pro gamer and just a notoriously good gamer in various games. And he took up Broodwar not too long ago, I'd say around a year to 18 months ago, starting from scratch. And his dream was always to play against Artosis eventually and beat him. So there's a game on the channel that I did a little while ago where he did have his game against Artosis, and he did in fact get the win. And if you haven't seen that game, I think it's still very worth watching, even though I've kind of spoiled the result. And today we have an opportunity for Artosis to get his revenge. We always love a redemption arc or a story of revenge. So I am really looking forward to seeing how this game goes. I have no idea what Attitude is like as a map, so I'm going to kind of figure that out as we go along. And yeah, man, this is going to be good. I'm actually quite excited to see how this one pans out. I've been doing a stack of RT games recently. And ever since the ladder reset, and I pretty much reckon from February onwards, sort of second week of February onwards, Artosis has been playing incredibly well on the ladder. Initially, he was matching with a lot of pros, and obviously it's not ideal to match against people that are quite a lot better than you while the ladder is so stacked and the MMRs are so close together. But now that it's kind of spread out and normalized again, he's matching against, I suppose, players that he should be matching against and just playing incredibly well. And so it's really good to see some excellent games coming out of him. And I'm expecting no less here today against Ray, who is sort of a low A, high B rank player. And has been a real student of the game. He's a very hardworking player. He plays a lot of volume to get good. And I think that's probably why he's enjoyed so much success in all sorts of games in his career. So Arty does first scout, which is a little bit fortunate because he knows now that there is a zealot on the way. I did unfortunately miss the factory timing, but I don't think it was the sort of sharp 2 minutes and 30 seconds that we have been aiming for. That is one thing though that I have seen. Yesterday I cast 4 games of his. 3 of them he had factory timings that were all 2 minutes and 30 seconds or better. It was unbelievably good. So his optimization on his mining, crispness of his build orders has been really excellent. And it has been something that he's mentioned he's been trying to improve. And it's definitely seeing the results as well. So good on him for that. Something else that he said is the reason why he hates, well, dreads, shall we say, B-rank Protosses, is that usually the rank of a Protoss player on the ladder is contingent predominantly on how good they are against a Protoss versus Zerg match. And so, hang on, I'll carry on with that thought in a moment. I'm quite surprised to see 2 zealots here. It does take down an SCV. Doesn't engage though. Arty's micro is pretty solid. So I don't know how well he's expecting these zealots to scale. Our first vulture has arrived. I expect Ray is going to try and expand now. Offensive eBay. Bit of a nuisance, but he should be able to get rid of that. And a nice move, a nice block from RT there. So saw the 2 zealots and said, well, okay, good luck expanding, bro. I'm going to make this. And I think he'll cancel it at the very last moment. There we go. So now Ray will have an opportunity to expand. And I expect Artosis will as well. So he's saying that the reason why B-rank Protosses are so hard to play against is that usually their Protoss versus Terran is their best match. And their Protoss versus Zerg is their worst match. And if they struggle with Protoss versus Zerg, it drags their MMR down. But their Protoss versus Terran is probably at the same or similar level that an A rank or even an S rank Protoss can be. So in other words, this match is usually the easiest of the 3 to master. And that's why a B rank Protoss can max out at the same timing as a Bisu, for example. He said that on a cast of his that I watched yesterday. I think he was doing, what's that player that's come back? Oh, Boxer. He was doing a Boxer cast or like a series, and he mentioned that there, and I thought that was actually incredibly interesting his views on why B rank Protosses are so hard to play against. And he wasn't trolling. He's definitely two Artosises, right? The first Artosis he is the one on Artosis Costs, which is when he's being his authentic self. And then the guy he's on stream is kind of like playing a character in WWE. Ray's eating so many mines here. Oh, that is turbo sloppy. Very, very unfortunate there. So he definitely plays his part, and it makes sense. It makes the stream more, I don't know, interesting, I guess. He definitely knows that if he reacts when he loses, people enjoy that. They enjoy the drama. It's definitely got the drama factor. And that's why he has been the most successful English-speaking streamer in this game forever, basically. And there is nobody even in close second place. He is miles ahead of anybody else. So Artie moving in here. I like this little marine push. He realized that the zealots haven't done a whole bunch of anything, and he also identified that Ray lost 2 goons to mines, and pressing his advantage. And this is what I've been saying. When Artie feels confident that he's got an edge on a player, he's just becoming really decisive and aggressive, and this is helping him pull ahead. I mean, look at the supply differential, right? 43 plays 36. Ray is no slouch, and Artie is really got off to a incredibly strong start here. So what do we got? We got 2 factories. We've got our floating eBay just in case we're going to face perhaps DTs. Ray's not a Reaver guy. He tends to play Arbiter. I have sort of got a sense of his play style. So I don't think any Reavers would be a threat, but it is always good to have the eBay. Has made one sort of catch-all turret in both bases. And it's also good to block observers, right? Just kind of counting your factory count. I said that the other day. I said that probably the unit that wins Protosses the most games in this match is the observer, because you just get a sense of exactly what your opponent is up to. So it does kind of sneak in the shuttle and drop a probe in here. I think the fact that the probe might have been spotted by a mine would have been one of the things that triggered RT to go, okay, perhaps he'll go Reaver this game. Haven't seen him do it before, but it is a very popular thing to do, so perhaps it's something he's trying to learn. We can see, though, that it is just... Oh, he does have a support bay. Holy crap, and he is going Reaver. Ah, shut up, Rabbit. You know nothing, bro. This is the very first time I have seen Ray play Reavers, and I've watched his stream quite a fair bit. And I've cast not a lot of his games, to be honest. So he has surprised me, and I put my hand up. I bow before you as a surprised rabbit. Which I imagine the picture of a surprised rabbit would just be, I don't even know what. Just big eyes and bushy tail and all the things. Alright, so Artosis has preemptively sensed what he's playing against, and his game sense was better than mine, and he doesn't even have the benefit of all of the sight that I do, which shows how good I am. So now the question is, where is our Reaver? Artosis doesn't seem too bothered about that. He just seems hell-bent on delaying Ray's third base as much as he possibly can, and he's getting some good results in that regard. Got speed vultures. He's getting himself so much time to build up his SCV count. Still just doing all of this on 2 factories. I would not be surprised to see him set up to take a third. Ray now pokes in here with his Reaver, and this turret has paid good dividends. The purple is a little bit... Nah, I can't say the purple's difficult to spot. Who am I kidding? Purple's purple, man. You just gotta look with your eyes, boy. Okay, so we've got spotter mines. We don't want to transfer probes because we are not looking forward to all of the vulture harassment. And Artosis is unrelenting. He is just not giving Ray any opportunity to breathe here. So it does eventually push a handful of probes across to this third. Probably not ideal. He probably would have wanted to move a few more. Perhaps he will do so again. Yeah, because this is a secondary transfer. So this is decent resaturation. Our shuttle with our Reaver has done 2/5 of nothing. And I don't see that changing. Arto has got his third command center up and running, and he's going to establish here. This doesn't have a gas, but I think as Terran you don't mind the mineral only as your third. You can probably make a decent number of tanks just on 2 gases alone if you're just going to play a pretty solid mech style. The only time this becomes a bit of a headache for you is if you need to make vessels because you're up against arbiters. But if your opponent is not going arbiters, then you should be fine. Ray doesn't actually seem to have a particularly clear tech tree in mind here. So here we go. Our first shuttle is in the line of sight. Nearly loses him. That would have been sad. We just have a forge and we have gateways. We don't have any other tech. So he's just going to go gateway man with shuttle support. I don't think that's going to go too well. It does have the Reavers here. But the challenge with Reavers is you need to get some early game damage. And you need to figure out a way to keep them relevant into the mid game. And that's really hard without good micro. And just sort of good experience playing with Reavers to have a sense of where you can find an opening. Artosis is just scouting around the map here relentlessly. This does remind me a little bit of Vermeer, although the side bases in Vermeer are not raised like these ones are. But it seems like a pretty cool map, this one. Attitude. And Ray's kind of just chilling. Artosis is just continuously pulling ahead, making more factories. He's saturating his third. Looking very, very comfortable in this match. This is not a nice base to take, but this will be a nice, very, very easy fourth for him to take. He's just going to have to wall in here and spread out his tanks a bit more, and Bob's your uncle. That is, of course, if he does want to expand and not perhaps push. And Ray, for the time being, is trying to expand to a fourth base himself. But it does feel like everything here is building up to an engagement in the not too distant future. I think RT is going to hit a certain supply, maybe around 160 or whatever, and unsiege and just probably push the natural, if I had to guess. We will see. So before we get into the big fight, guys, thank you if you are still with me. Please do hit a like on the video and give me any comments and feedback, anything you'd like to see me do differently or what you enjoyed about the video. If you are a regular viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We are rollicking on to our sub goal of 1,000 for the year. Any help in that regard from you is much appreciated. And that's it. If I haven't plugged already, because I don't think I did, that's the last of them. And we are... He just scans here to confirm there's no base as of yet. Alrighty. Looks like Ray is trying to do something here with his shuttles. Changes his mind. So Artie's just chilling, waiting for Ray to make a move. And I think Ray is just hesitant to make a move because he doesn't want to make a mistake. So instead of making any kind of move, and attacking into Artosis here does not make any sense. He's ahead in supply. And I think Artie's just going to max out here. Sees everything is unsieged. And so it is probably time to get moving. Ray's taken this base. I think expanding towards the Terran, probably not ideal. I think he should have gone up to the top left of the map instead of expanding here. But based on our supply differential, I don't think it's going to matter that much. Picking up a few Dragoons. Does also have a mix of High Templar in here. So I did accuse him of having no tech. It does look like he's playing a Storm, Reaver, High Templar kind of style. Also does a drop here with a Reaver, which caused a little bit of strife for Artosis. And he blew up his own refinery as a result. But at the end of the day, all engagements are now done, and RT still has a very, very strong lead. So, yeah, I think this choice to expand this way, a regrettable one. Should just be able to tidy up all those vultures without any dramas. And now Artosis is going to move out onto the map quite openly. Bit of a whiff on the storm there. Dragoons retreating. And I dread for Ray, you're going to get absolute worst case scenario as a Protoss, which is Terran is going to siege up on your front door. And you do not have any alternative production bases set up. So absolutely tears through this base. Also continuing to fire on here. Ray does clear this up, but there's reinforcements. I think he's going to be able to push this base simultaneously as well. The name of the game from our Ray is to counterattack. There is absolutely nothing protecting Artosis' fourth, so I think he's going to get some decent cut through here. So it does have to lift off and pull away from there. So Artosis is sending his entire army back. It is so cumbersome to watch all these tanks move. But he will probably lose this command center. Does lose the command center. Could potentially trap these dragoons up here, which could be useful. Finishes off this base though, so a base for a base, always decent. I think from Artosis' point of view, this base was a nice to have, and he's double expanded up here anyway. And with the map control he has, it's going to be very difficult for Ray to stop that, and he's kind of now cornered all these dragoons, which is really good. These dragoons are going to have a tough time getting down here, so they're all trapped. And Artosis is using the opportunity that a lot of his dragoons are trapped on the other side of the map as an invitation to pressure again. Just goons absolutely evaporating there. Lovely stroke picking off that High Templar without any storms going down. Some friendly fire mine drags as well. Just the number of sheer Protoss bleeding units, and that was a hiding. That was an absolute hiding. Artosis dominated that game from beginning to end. He got his revenge. It wasn't even close. I think the two players are a little bit more evenly matched than what this one game would illustrate. I think Ray did not have a good start. The double zealot opening did nothing for him, and he lost a lot to counter harassment. And Artosis' vulture play in the early game was excellent, and it really gave him such a massive lead. And then Artosis managed to fend off drops here from Reavers that were kind of in the mid game. He held that really well, held his composure. Yep, he lost the space, but he was expanding here and here, and he was pressing here. Ray had nowhere else to go, and that was just a very, very convincing Terran versus Protoss win for Artosis. Well done. So guys, thanks very much for watching. If you did enjoy this cast, please do hit that like. Give me any feedback on the video that you would like me to see. I always respond to every comment. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and until next time, thanks very much for watching again, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you soon.